all I'm happy for. I want money tonight.
Shakur, tell us something, bro. Like, what did you think about the decision?
I ain't gonna shit on him.
Okay.
We still gotta see each other. He say he wanna fight me, so we gonna fight.
But what do you think about the decision?
I thought Lamont won.
You thought Lamont won. Got you. I'll talk to you later. You thought it was a fair decision?
Yeah, definitely, man. I thought they both put it out there. Roach definitely showed up and did his thing. But Gervonta Davis is the champ, and it takes a lot to be able to beat the champ. But Roach definitely had something that we all.
Come up this way. I'm going up right here. I'm cross.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Hey, Danny, what do you think about the fight, man? Was that a good decision?
Hey, Lamont came to fight. Can't take no credit away from him. I think Tank had a little off night a little bit. He was off a little bit tonight. But Lamont came to fight. You can't take none away from him. He earned that tonight.
Would you want a rematch and you think it'll go differently?
To win the fight, it was a close decision, but he did have Roach winning, and ultimately, in terms of himself, he thinks that if he were to get the rematch, he just wouldn't allow it to end in the judge's hands. Like, it wouldn't be a
He's a great counterpuncher. He's very high boxing IQ. He always says, I hit harder than people think. I hit harder than my record says. He stunned Tank several times. Tank looked like the guy with the heavier hands, but Lamont had the better chin. So it's all relative. So it doesn't, if Tank hits real hard, the guy can take it, doesn't really matter.
Little big bro coming out with the upset. A lot of people are going to pick Tank going into that fight, but how do you see that playing out?
I see my brother walking out victorious. No, there's no doubt. Not because that's my brother, but because I seen him.
Eddie Hearn is stirring things up again, and this time it's not just to promote a fight. He's openly questioning whether Gervonta "Tank" Davis is still as dangerous as he once was. Hearn suggested that Lamont Roach might actually pull off a shocking upset. But even then, he made one thing very clear: Roach isn't the real challenge for Tank, Shakur Stevenson is.
Our own, and that's Shakur Stevenson. And for me, Schofield, Zepeda, Tank. That's the plan for 2025. And if we were to do that, I think Shakur against Tank is one of the best fights in boxing. Two unbelievable fighters.
Fresh off a dominant win over Josh Padley, Shakur Stevenson is making his presence known in the lightweight division. He'll be sitting ringside when Davis faces Roach at the Barclays Center, watching closely and waiting for his shot. Shakur has been calling for a fight with Tank, and he won't stop until it happens. But Hearn's comments have people talking. Could Tank really lose? I don't think so, Hearn said, but maybe, he just seems a little bored. And that's not the kind of thing you want to hear about a fighter at the top of his game.
He's had a lot of criticism, but it's not a bad fight. Lamont Roach is a world champion. He's smaller than Gervonta Davis. The problem is not many people are aware of who he is or his ability. But he can fight. I don't think it's a huge fight, but...
This all raises a bigger question: is Gervonta Davis starting to lose focus, or is this just hype before another easy knockout? Hearn pointed out what many are thinking but not saying: no one's really excited about a Lamont Roach fight. And beyond Shakur Stevenson, who else is left for Tank? That's the uncomfortable truth. Critics have been saying for years that while Davis has a strong record, it lacks defining wins against top fighters in their prime. He's had big knockouts, sure, but when you talk about the best at 135, the conversation gets real small, real fast.
Tank has been receiving unfair criticism because of Lamont not being as known of a fighter as his past opponent.
Yeah, but it's not Tank's fault. The guys with the so-called names, they turn Tank down, they price themselves out. And because people don't know Lamont, he's not...
When people talk about the top names, it's Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, and Vasily Lomachenko. Tank hasn't faced any of them. Meanwhile, Stevenson has his own challenges. His hands, fragile as ever, took some punishment against Padley. According to Hearn, there's no major damage, but there's still some concern. Ideally, Stevenson would be ready to fight again in May. But the truth is, those hands could be the only thing stopping a fight with Tank from happening. That matchup needs to happen soon, before Stevenson's body starts working against him.
On the fight, everything is true about this situation. One, Gervonta Tank Davis was being dumped.
While all this is going on, Oscar de la Hoya jumped in with his own take. He gave Roach more credit than most, calling him a terrific fighter, but also admitted the obvious: Tank Davis is a monster. De la Hoya praised Roach's unpredictable combos, but the real message was clear: Roach has never faced power like Tank's.
Terrific fighter. He might be a little over his head with Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is, to say the least, he's a beast. He really is. He's a tremendous fighter.
Still, Roach isn't backing down. He's talking like a man who's ready to shake up the sport, calling this potential fight of the year material. It's all about confidence, Roach said. It's about the work you put in. And that's great. But confidence only goes so far when you're standing across from one of boxing's most dangerous punchers. Just ask Ryan Garcia. He started strong, landed a few shots, and the first time Tank caught him clean, game over. Roach says he's different, that he won't fold mentally or physically. But we've all heard that before.
He took this fight for the naysayers and all this and all the people talking shit about the fight. I think he actually took the fight because he know that I'm a dog. And he want to prove his skills against the dog. So I'm going to show y'all what happened.
What makes Roach interesting is that he's honest about what most fighters won't say. A lot of Tank's opponents switch into survival mode as soon as they feel his power. I think the only one who didn't was probably Pitbull Cruz, Roach said. And he's got a point. Cruz made it messy and gave Tank some problems no one else really has. That's Roach's hope, that he can do more than just survive, that his skills and mindset are enough to push beyond what others have done.
9th round. What? I say 9th round. You said 9th? Yeah.
What's your response to that, Lamont?
Look, he got scared. Look. He looked at 9th. I'm telling him, you saying...
But here's why people doubt him. Roach is moving up from 130 pounds, while Tank is dominant at 135. The reality is, Roach might be stepping into a fight he has no real shot of winning. And if this ends with Roach just becoming another highlight reel knockout, then what's next for Tank? That's what Hearn is hinting at. I don't know another fight for Tank outside of Shakur, he said. That's why Stevenson will be there, watching and waiting. Because there's really only one fight left that matters. Even Shakur isn't totally writing off Roach. He actually thinks Roach might give Tank more trouble than people expect. I don't think it's going to be an easy night for Tank, Stevenson said. He's known Roach a long time, sparred with him, and believes he's got more talent than people realize. He's a good fighter, Shakur said. But let's be honest, if Roach was really that dangerous, Stevenson wouldn't already be looking ahead to his own fight with Tank.
I'm not looking at Lamont the way that everybody else look at Lamont. Like, I know Lamont is a really good fighter. I'm not. This ain't no Frank Martin. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
It's a real good fight.
No one's been able to solve Tank Davis. What do you need to do together with you and your team and obviously your son to score that victory?
We got a game plan. We're gonna execute it and we're gonna get the results.
Move ahead, bob and weave.
And then there's Terrence Crawford. When it comes to real threats for Tank, Crawford isn't even mentioning Roach. In his eyes, only two fighters can seriously challenge Davis, and Roach isn't one of them. Tank knows what's up, Crawford said. He knows what he's dealing with when it's Shakur or Keyshawn Davis. Crawford kept it real. Tank has been fighting guys who either don't have the skills or the mental toughness to keep up. They might have little skills here and there, Crawford said, but mentally, they can't hold it together for a full fight.
Everyone thinks Tank Davis is walking through Lamont Roach this weekend, but what if I told you Roach has already given him problems? Twice. They fought twice as amateurs, and both fights were...
And that's the real key, isn't it? It's not just about skills. It's about having the mindset to stay focused and sharp for 12 rounds against a fighter like Tank. To take the power shots and not fall apart. Crawford believes only two guys have that, Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis. And when the time comes, he's sure one of them will hand Tank his first loss. So what's really going to happen on fight night? Roach believes he's ready. Stevenson thinks it'll be a tough fight but already has his eyes on what's next. Hearn is questioning whether Tank is even fully motivated anymore. And Crawford? He's not worried about Roach, he's focused on the fight that matters, Tank versus Shakur. If Davis does what most expect and finishes Roach in brutal fashion, there won't be any excuses left. What do you think? Drop your thoughts below and subscribe for more boxing updates.